Well,
Sister Evelyn.
Follow through. Got it?
What's wrong, Doug?
nothing, not a thing.
Amen.
Tim!
It's better to cough. It's like makes you 10 times more higher than the crossweed and the Pineapple Express, man. You're like totally fucking gong showed, man.
It's gonna be hot today, Jay.
Hey, man, he's going into convulsions!
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Well, it's about time.
Hurry, Father! Climb aboard!
We never get by those feet!
Yes, we will!
Hey, which way you go? Wait for me!
Hang on! Here we go!
Tell those assholes to shut up.
Here.
See a president who's embattled at the moment, and a president who's really based on, and what do I base it on? Not being close to him, but being close to people who are close to him, in the press, I should say, and who watch him carefully, as being very pained at the moment. And certainly, a man who wants to make his mark, and I've never heard anybody ever say that he's that fundamentalist that he believes that the end is nigh. I really, you and I take a different view on that one, but you married to Marjo? No, just you sound a little bit the technique.
I really believe that he thinks he's doing the Lord's work. He's always been a very
Achoo!
Right, here, take a blame.
Bullshit.
It's still there. Excuse me. I think I've got a little something stuck in my... There it is.
What happened? Amy? Did it work?
He got away. I suddenly. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Yes, you.
What are you doing?
Tissue.
Red. Red. Where'd you come from, man? Where'd he come from?
Came back to save us.
You saved us?
Baba! Baba!
Gotta appreciate the lady.
Wouldn't do that.
Come on, man.
Well,
Che spegni la luce? We're gonna drown.
The other mayors have to live in this house after we're gone.
Go on in there, Al, and I'll send everybody in. Just sit down.
Relax. Same medication as last time?
who's playing Santa? You fucked up.
This weapon.
And you...
You listen to me for just once.
Yes! Yeah! So...
There's my favorite girl. It burns.
Well, considering we don't know.
Yeah, what's old Mother been up to, huh? You all know Jesse, don't you? Chairman of the Transit Authority.
This is the best fucking part.
Puff, puff, give. Puff, puff, give. Fucking up the rotation.
I mean, nothing anachronistic, but where does 1869 and 1969 meet?
Yes, what happened with the black bandit?
No, sorry, Jack.
Do we have any?
Oh, the cunts!
Dang, it would have been all different.
People just made this.
More?
Foundation, Eric. I don't give a shit.
Eric. Huh?
What they say.
No, he's got that sense of humor.
Really little.
Attention, I found the story quite hard to follow. May I suggest? Finch? Finch, would you like me to drive?
Security, we're under attack.
In Congress.
Chump.
It's all right.
Hey, listen. You think you could work with...
You straight? Hey, you straight?
Stop blubbering.
I.
But my...
Will you?
And Trig.
See, I don't think you understood me.
Beat it.
거기 앉아라.
She always sneezes same way. 4 times.
She to meet Snake Plissken, baby.
You missed a big nut.
Since the war began, now has the upper hand.
There was.
The doctor recommended it.
You come to stay with your daddy. Come back to bed. Jesus.
Baja, Mexico. It's like it's a metal.
Business dog.
Dad, are you feeling bad, kid?
And I know it's something very special.
What? What?
How on earth did that happen?
voice.
Don't worry about it. I'll take care of him. Thanks.
Worry, don't tell Sukudu.
Hepsi tutma yanında.
Not just.
It's a new toy, huh? You like it? Huh? Huh?
Don't move. What's in your hand? What's in your hand?
Tweet.
Not long after this sorrowful event, a young knight named J.M. Barnaby came into the city. He vowed to...
Sylvia.
No, James.
Back to the house. Go on.
According to contingency regulations.
The people...
I need more dust. Dad, can you grab...
Oh, no. Ring, you know, is usually just for... Hello? Excuse me?
Yeah, well, I got lots of friends.
To be completed.
Wrapping her in its huge wings and taking her high up into...
Let's all take our seats now. Let's have dinner.
Jesus Christ. Not a TV.
got you. It's okay.
Her lungs were rotting, but she clung steadfastly to her brutal life.
I think it's fair to say.
Let's go.
After that.
I wear disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage.
You ride to the top.
Hours.
His heart would give way.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You won't find that shit here.
Toward you and twist it into place. I'll hold it. Many patients living well into the late 20s.
Won't let go. No. And nobody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't start with me. I got a long way to go. I got my... Shut up.
Oh, fuck you.
It's incredible.
Where could he?
Sound rough? She has a terrible cough.
Saved my life.
Oh shit.
I almost fell over. What are you laughing?
Sound fun?
No more running.
Excuse me.
What in God's name?
Sta buono. Ti fa passare tutto.
That's why I get high.
Karma? It cannot be.
Did he say corpse?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. What corpse would marry our victim? Oh! Mayhew! Silence that blasted coffin!
There is something weird going on out there. 내가 받으라 그랬지?
닫을까요?
Pretty sure it's.
Big dreams.
What are you all doing? Why don't you?
If you're not...
Well, now you know what to ask Santa.
Roll up your sleeve. We're going to take some blood.
No, you have.
whatever he is, I am terribly allergic.
Cosa c'è adesso? Cosa c'hai?
Hurry. Here, look me.
Так что вы думаете, Василий Федорович? Ничего, что я с вами денек оставлю?
Hey.
The strain.
I begin.
Nothing.
This is for the working man.
Vil du komme oss ut herfra på egen hånd?
For Bruce Lee. Policeman.
Why I don't let us... Great idea, Woody.
Wyoming?
Is this bothering you?
And I have a present everywhere.
You're not doing anything at all to help.
Now, I want a whole new look for Caleb. I don't want this Western costume the way they costume the big...
Come on!
Anyone asks, that's not what it's called.
Call it banana boat.
Just make sure you leave the weed too, you know, this can be a gateway drug.
You okay?
I've never had a birthday party.
I was...
I lost my shadow.
How much?
Did you want something?
Yeah. Maybe you're a...
A lot to do together. So you.
Yeah.
Have it your way, Archimedes.
Ja, ze streng lucht.
Oh, pardon.
If you feel seasick, you should try and...
Accidental awakening.
Please help me. You said you knew.
Ice, we have to get you out of this.
We decimated him.
We've been going at this all day.
No, it's ugly.
General, we found the Jedi.
Which clearly gave.
And now old Burke.
You sure about this? Put your hat on.
Bless you. Oh, bless you.
No, thanks.
Lieutenant Colonel Makarov.
LA don't want you no more, tough guy.
Yeah, here. Just
911.
Well, speaking of my one person, there he is. Nick, this is Syra.
He would have got.
The fact is, migrators reject.
It flows from.
Warning. Unauthorized awakening. Hibernation mode compromised.
Hey.
By the way, I'm through with Cuervo.
Looks good on you, though.
No, I understand that you have rules about that sort of contraband. It's, yeah, perfectly clear. Alrighty.
As I told you before.
Doctor?
He's alive!
No!
Early for noise.
Way to go, Kimmy. What are you guys doing up?
Okay, all right. So that's time. I had no idea this stopwatch went that high. I'm not shitting you. When we were teaching my daughter to walk, she got up this hill faster than you.
What?
Bottle for me.
Everybody, let's try to keep calm. Take your seats.
Blowjob! Blowjob!
I want to try and catch that. Come on.
Gesundheit.
Ooh, sorry, Z.
On the cathedral steps and the...
But he is my brother-in-law.
Bring it out! Guys, stop looking into the camera. I can't use anything.
Monsieur, bonsoir, bienvenue à bord d'Air France sur ce Boeing 777-300. Puis ranger votre valise cabine dans les coffres, ça c'est accessoires. Et les bagages de petit format doivent être placés sous le siège avant vous. Les issues de secours doivent être respectées.
Sit down.
That's a bit uncharitable.
favors by letting him go on supper.
Look!
Finally, they saw the boy run angrily out of the house. What does that prove?
You're feeling it, aren't you?
On the corner of Jonesboro and Claire, with what can only be described.
My wish is that you get better.
Except me, I'm staying right here, man.
The guerrillas still cling to the Kalashnikov, but...
There goes back!
No, we're making fast!
I don't know if you were...
I'm so sorry.
Population.
Are damning him?
This is not.
你们没事吧？
少天，找到，能动。
I don't think it's fair. I'll tell you what's fair, what's not.
Here has the antidote.
Get in the pool.
Oh my God.
Look over here.
We need to get out of here.
Real easy, soldier.
Critical.
Well.
Come on, cough it out like you done before.
Are you okay? No.
He's choking.
You got. You.
Okay, Monster Man. Who pushed me?
Hey, horse.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah. Drink this.
Achoo!
It'll be okay.
Don't you look like that?
What's your problem anyway?
Barbados, hang on.
Good one.
Best you could do from here is take the 5. The shape it's in, 2.5 hours.
London fogged.
I know.
I saw that VP.
He was such
That's the test.
Reggie, stop coughing!
I'm coughing because of dust.
Hey, more dust. Natalie, say, please don't kill me. Reggie, stop coughing. You're being.
That's my girl.
It's where he keeps his strength, his spirit. His spirit is in those teeth. Yeah. Oh, you're missing a little strength.
Halfway there. This is Malloy Pliskin. Do you have the...
Io faccio le due. Allora, si è fermato.
Careful now, that balloon could burst, you know.
Nobody's seen.
It's not.
Vicar, what a surprise!
That was a terrible idea, Roman. Don't worry about that smoke. Stop. It's guaranteed.
Northwest.
So bad.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Something tells me that you're all wet, Archimedes.
Yo, Mandingo, leave the brother alone. I'm in a dupe, a pawn.
아빠가 폭발할 것만 같다. Lock Rich's mom.
Måste räcka! Ja, men det är mimer där ute.
Listen. Eva. Always
rectification procedure, awakening personnels of Unit 8.
Forget it, George. Go on.
I just work here.
Well, you're the one that cut it. Yeah.
Långt.
Inne på bilen!
Simming.
Count.
Bra.
What's
Why is that, for Christ's sake?
Keep shouting at the top of your lungs. I'd like to be a few years younger. That man gets on my...
Dude, he's not breathing.
Don't breathe.
Hometown.
How do I want?
What the fuck?
Achoo.
Winning their respect.
All red to the stand.
You're on.
Town, that'll be fun.
Jesus, Kimberly, is that necessary?
Player snake.
How do you do?
What's going on here?
He's a very...
Oh, no. Class.
Hey, are you all right?
Let me get something to drink.
Etchy?
You mean?
You know.
Ray.